What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Shooting the Shit. There's 3 things I want to do today. And number 1 is answer these 2 questions. That's all I got, 2 questions for this Q&A. I didn't want to wait any longer, and I was shooting this episode anyway, so why the hell not? First question is going to be by Hockey Win Fish. I get no visuals on Smurfs at 3.5 grams, and I didn't when I did 2 gel tags. Do some people need more to get visuals? Or does my plug just got weak shit? Well, funnily enough, I'm sure you've heard about the infamous blue gel tabs that I used to love the shit out of. The plug back in high school that would sell me those tabs also didn't get visuals from psychedelics. Any psychedelic, really. And, I mean, this man's even done DMT and he barely got anything, even visual distortions or whatnot. And let me tell you, these tabs that he was selling me were fantastic. I got insanely intense experiences with them. A lot of visuals, and he didn't get anything. So yeah, some people just don't get visuals on psychedelics. I mean, they just don't. There's a couple things you can do to help that you should probably look into. And then of course there's other options, like I'd say you give some ketamine a try, or even, if it's your thing, you try a safe, harm reduction focused counter flip. Tell me you don't get visuals off of that shit, and well, you're just fucked, out of luck. But there's things you can do, and yeah, it's normal. I mean, your plug probably doesn't have weak shit. Given that gave you gel tabs and shrooms, you took 2 of the gel tabs and then 8 of the shrooms, and you didn't get any visuals. Chances are it's not his stuff, especially it being gel tabs. I mean, even if you get bunk gel tabs, they're just laced with something else, something a little bit more dangerous, like N-bomb or something. I'm sure you guys have heard about the black gel tab story before. If you haven't, go look that up. Look up the infamous black gel tabs. It's a story. But anywho, yeah, some people just don't get visuals off psychedelics. I'd say you look into some things you can do to help that, or try some other substances. Second question by Ethan. Most intense trip you've had? Man, I have had hundreds of different experiences with harder drugs, right? And hundreds of different experiences with hundreds of different drugs. So it's going to be hard for me to pick out the single most intense trip I've had, but I will say one that immediately comes to mind when I think about that is actually one of the counterflip experiences that I had. If you don't know what that is, it's mixing diphenhydramine and dextromethorphan, typically in a 50-50 ratio, and typically going up toward 300 but not crossing over 300 milligrams a piece. And that stuff's intense, right? Just on its own, that's intense. I went ahead and I mixed a little bit of 4-ACO in there, so a little bit of kratom in there, and weed in there. And this was back in high school, and man, let me tell you, I was legitimately, that's some of the best memories of my life. I was in the car, like 8 other people, just sitting in this car that's parked in my boy Willie's backyard. I was just like screaming, "Jiggly Jesus, Jiggly Jesus." I don't even know what that means or why it popped into my head, but I was doing that. And then after that a little bit, I just got this vision. You know, like Disney stuff on ice, whatever. It's like a show, people put on, and they got ice skates on, whatever on ice. Some reason, Hitler on ice just popped into my head, and I was like, guys, Hitler on ice. This is the shit. This is what we need to do. Hitler on ice. I was like the best idea I'd ever gotten as far as I was concerned at that moment in time. Everyone was kind of on board with it, or just not really able to respond, period, because they were on the same things I was on. And, this never left my memory. Just the Hitler on ice, bro. Just like Hitler up there in like his early 1930s. His early 1930s drip. You know what I'm talking about. Those shorts and whatnot. Just like on some ice skates out there. Sieg Heiling! And stuff, but on the ice skate. I don't know, bro. I think it's random as fuck too. Popped into my head. It's funny as shit. I screamed it out loud. Whatever, bro. So that's gonna be both of those questions answered. Now, if you're wondering what this cigarette is, it's a 4 Aces tube with drum tobacco in it. It has for a shack, if you're curious which one. And if you're wondering why it was already lit when I came on the camera, I started filming a second ago, and I got a fucking phone call on the phone that I'm using to record the audio, because I record the audio and the video separately. On the phone that I'm using to record the audio, I got a phone call, it fucked up my audio, pissed me off, whatever. It was half smoked when I came back on camera, whatever, dog. But the second thing I want to do is, of course, I want to teach you guys how I actually get psychoactive effects, really strong psychoactive effects, recreational effects, off of Gabapentin. So I brought along, just as an example, to have something to hold and show you. Since today is Gab Day, I'm just going to lay that right there for a second. Since today is Gab Day, right, and I was already going to record this episode, that's going to melt the table. I'm going to pick that up. I went ahead and I brought some of these in here, and I'm going to show you guys what I do. So, my dose today is going to be 7 of these 300 milligram capsules. I need to clip my nails. 7 of these 300 milligram capsules of gabapentin. So, first things first, I set 7 alarms on my phone, 30 minutes apart, right? And I set the first one at 10:30 because I always have my chiropractor appointment at 2:45, so it's all going to line up, it's going to be perfect timing, right? When that alarm goes off, I take half of a 500 milligram naproxen, so 250 milligrams naproxen, one of those capsules, and I have a small, like, regular spoonful of peanut butter. I just straight up eat it. That's all I do. And then I wash it down with a non-caffeinated, carbonated beverage. Usually it's like orange Fanta. But, you know, there's other things, you can, like root beer, just anything that's non-caffeinated but carbonated, that's the shit. You need it. So then every 30 minutes after that, I just, I pop another 300 milligram Gab until all the alarms are up. On the 4th capsule that I take the other half of the 500 milligram naproxen. So I take the additional 250 milligrams naproxen. That helps bioavailability a ton. And then every 2 to 3 capsules, usually like every 3, sometimes every 2, I'll have another smaller spoonful of peanut butter. And of course washing it all down with the beverage in question. And after, let's say, so if I start at 10:30, 11, 12, 1:30 is when I've taken the last one. Now, 2:30, 3:30, I assume I like to be home from the chiropractor appointment. I usually am at 3:30, which is 2 hours after I've taken the last one, and about 2 hours after you take the last one and your stagger dose of gabapentin. That's when you start getting some extremely strong effects. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. If you're gonna give it a try, do give that method a shot, because that's the way to do it. The perfect way to do it. Now I am about to have to take, I'm about to have to start my stagger. But there's one more thing I wanted to sort of announce or whatever before I want to go ahead and stop this thing. Axis and Allies World War I, 1914. This is first edition, the first one that came out before Renegade started reproducing it. This bitch is worth like $800, but that's besides the point. I want to play a game of this good stuff with 7 of you. We could do it with 6 because the US player doesn't really get to start making any real moves in the game until like 1917. But, I want to get like 7 of you and play this game. Now I'm going to play Deutschland. I'm going to play the German Empire. I need 2 people to play the Austrian-Hungarian Empire and the Ottoman Empire. They're going to be on my side. The other 5 people are going to play the Allies. They're going to be, the United States, Great Britain, the Russian Empire, Italy, and France, right? And we're going to do it over the phone, right? So I'm going to set up the board. I'm going to set up all the pieces and stuff. and I'm just gonna basically text a picture to like a group chat of the board every few turns, every few moves, anytime something significant happens, so everyone can get an idea of what the board looks like. And then, you know, like, let's say it's the French player's turn. They're gonna be like, I want to send 3 infantry from na-na-na and na-na-na, and, you know, so on and so forth. And then I'll roll the dice, you roll your own dice, you'll take a video of it, you let me know what you got, and that's going to be trust-based. I'm going to trust you that you're not going to fucking make 10 videos and only send the one where you happen to get the rolls you need. Roll one time, and that's it. In fact, you know, I might make you do it like live or something, so we can all make sure that you got what you said you got. But anyways, that's how it's going to play out. We're going to have a big, nice game of Axis and Allies, World War I, 1914. I think it's going to be a lot of fucking fun. But that's everything I wanted to do, talk about, show you, whatever today. It's time for my Gabs stagger to start. So I'm going to end this thing. Stay frosty, stay curious, and most importantly, stay safe out there. And I will, of course, see all of you bitches in the next one. Peace!